Hello, I'm Mark Goodale, Principal of Morrissey Goodale for the video series, Building High-Performance Organizations. Vague leadership roles in an AEC organization is an invitation to complacency, confusion, and lack of accountability. Oftentimes, titles, which are more about status achieved within a firm, are substituted for functional roles that define a specific set of responsibilities. Here's a no-nonsense approach to establishing meaningful roles at the top of your organization. If your firm is large enough to have a board of directors, the responsibilities of its chairman should include the following. Set the agenda for BOD meetings with input from the other board members and provide leadership. Appoint the chairpersons of any special committee the BOD might establish in consultation with other BOD members. Help guide and mediate BOD actions with respect to organizational priorities and governance concerns. Monitor financial planning and financial reports. Evaluate annually the performance of the firm in working toward achieving its long-term vision. For the board members' part, each must bring their energy and focus to the role. The board's purpose is for the betterment of the firm as a whole. Therefore, the directors must realize that their purpose in this role is not to represent a business unit, office, or discipline. They must think about what is best for the entire firm, not just for the portion that they manage. President. The firm's president reports to the board of directors and is ultimately responsible for implementing the firm's strategic business plan. He or she is the one who holds direct reports responsible for taking care of their specific business plan assignments. The president needs to be the best communicator in the firm and must confront issues early and meet them head-on, demanding accountability when necessary. Specific responsibilities of the president's role include, as mentioned, implementing the strategic plan. He or she is responsible for upholding the long-term vision and achieving near-term goals. Ensuring the sound operation and financial performance of the firm. Looking outside the firm for growth opportunities, such as new markets, acquisitions, teaming arrangements, joint ventures, and strategic alliances. Setting a great example for everyone in the firm. And being a booster for the company, internally with owners and staff, and externally with peers and clients. Reporting to the president should be the following corporate positions. By the way, each individual that takes on one of these roles or is in one of these roles already is responsible for grooming his or her protege. Chief Operating Officer. In firms of about 50 or more staff, separating the COO duties from the president's role will free up the president to pursue growth opportunities and focus on other key strategic initiatives. The COO's overriding responsibilities are to maintain profitability and quality of work and to oversee the allocation of the firm's entire staff to ensure the company as a whole benefits. All line unit leaders report to the COO. This position is normally filled by an internal manager who knows all the line managers and comes from the core of what the business does. However, consideration should be given to external candidates if there is no obvious choice among second-generation leaders. An external candidate would need to have a track record of success and position him or herself as a valuable resource for the division leaders. Specific responsibilities of the COO include the following. Manage and coordinate the firm's operations with the objective of hitting growth and profitability goals and continuously improving the quality of the firm's work. Standardize the firm's work processes and products as much as possible to ensure a consistent level of quality. Resolve all workload-related peaks and valleys through the use of the firm's entire staff across all its business units. Ensure that the firm's internal organization structure is optimal for success in the marketplace. Act as a resource for business unit managers and hold them accountable for the performance of their business units. As a firm grows, the utilization of the individual in the COO role typically drops as the focus shifts to time spent on globally managing the operational resources of the organization. The COO is ultimately responsible for firm-wide resource allocation and directing the firm's workload. The COO needs to have the right mix of toughness and diplomacy and needs to be technically strong enough and market savvy enough to have the respect of the managers and staff in the firm's operations. Chief Financial Officer. A CFO is responsible for the financial reporting and financial soundness of the firm through the effective development and deployment of strategies in the areas of cash flow, liquidity, return on equity, profitability, and capitalization the management of banking relationships, tax management, and preparation of financial statements according to GAAP, and the implementation of the resulting action plans in each of these areas. The CFO is also responsible for tracking and reporting on firm-wide business unit and project financial performance. Human Resources Director. The HR Director is responsible for getting maximum value from the firm's human resources through the development of effective strategies in the areas of employment recruitment, development, retention, and minimizing liability exposure, and the implementation of the resulting action plans in each of these areas. He or she is also responsible for tracking and reporting on key HR-related metrics, including annual staffing levels, staff turnover rates, number of open positions, time to fill open positions, interview offer ratio, cost per new hire, number of staff participating in training programs, number of training programs being offered, and so on. Chief Marketing Officer. Typically, a CMO is responsible for positioning the firm as a leading or at least preferred service provider in its chosen markets through the effective development of strategies in the areas of marketing communications, PR, sales and business development activities, pricing, market and competitor research, proposal and marketing collateral production, and the implementation of the resulting action plans in each of these areas. The CMO is also responsible for tracking and reporting on key marketing metrics, including sales and revenue, percent of repeat business, numbers of new clients, backlog, proposal hit rates, number of inquiries from new clients based on marketing activities, number of times staff present at a client association event, and so forth. When everyone is in charge of everything, no one is in charge of anything. Drawing distinct lines between your firm's leadership roles will lead to greater accountability. You can count on it. Please join us again for another edition of Building High-Performance Organizations. I'm Mark Goodale.